Imagine a scenario that chills you to the bone. A car flips and someone is trapped underneath, their life hanging by a thread. Now, you might not consider yourself a Herculean figure. Maybe you're the type who occasionally loses a wrestling match with a stubborn pickle jar. But in that critical life or death moment, something truly primal and astonishing can awaken within your body. It's not just folklore. There are numerous credible accounts of ordinary individuals, people who wouldn't dream of entering a strongman competition, suddenly exhibiting almost unbelievable strength, reportedly lifting entire vehicles to save a life. This isn't some fantastical tale from a comic book, it's a very real, albeit rarely accessed, emergency override system hardwired into your physiology. Scientists refer to this phenomenon as hysterical strength, and it's essentially a hidden turbo button that your brain can press in times of extreme duress. You see, your brain typically operates with a built-in safety system, a kind of governor that prevents you from using the full extent of your muscle power. Think of it like a speed limiter on a high-performance sports car, designed to protect the engine from tearing itself apart. However, when faced with genuine immediate danger, your body is suddenly flooded with a potent cocktail of hormones, chief among them adrenaline. In an instant, your heart begins to pound like a drum, your senses sharpen to an almost painful degree, and your muscles receive an incredible surge-like power boost. Instead of recruiting just a fraction of your muscle fibers as you normally would, your body suddenly enlists all of them simultaneously. To top it all off, your brain can literally dial down or even turn off pain signals, allowing you to push far, far beyond your usual physical limits. But here's the crucial catch. This extraordinary power isn't something you can just summon at will for party tricks. It only manifests when your brain genuinely perceives a situation as life or death. And using this kind of explosive strength isn't without its consequences. It can severely mess you up afterward. People who've experienced it have reported torn muscles, damaged tendons, and extreme exhaustion. It's akin to redlining your car's engine. Sure, you can do it, and it might get you out of a tight spot, but there's almost certainly going to be some significant damage as a result. Now, shifting our focus from raw, explosive power to something far more subtle yet equally fascinating. Have you ever found yourself gazing up at a vast bright blue sky, perhaps on a lazy summer afternoon, and noticed tiny, almost imperceptible glowing dots zipping around in your field of vision? They might look like microscopic shooting stars or energetic little squiggles darting here and there. If you have, you're not imagining things, nor are you necessarily witnessing something external. You are, in fact, watching your own white blood cells navigating the tiny capillaries within your eyeballs in real time. Scientists have a name for this fascinating visual occurrence, the blue field entoptic phenomenon. It's important to distinguish these from those often annoying floaters, which are usually clumps of collagen or cellular debris that drift more lazily and randomly in your vision. Here's how this incredible internal light show works. The retina at the back of your eye is crisscrossed by a network of incredibly fine blood vessels, or capillaries. When you look at a bright, uniform blue sky, the blue light is preferentially absorbed by your red blood cells, which are packed with hemoglobin. This absorption creates what your brain perceives as faint, shadowy lines, tracing the paths of these capillaries. White blood cells, however, are larger and more transparent to blue light than red blood cells. As these little transparent ghosts squeeze their way through these narrow vessels, they are too large to be completely surrounded by red blood cells and thus don't absorb as much blue light. This creates a tiny, bright gap in the dark line of absorbed light. Your brain interprets this moving gap as a tiny, glowing dot, zipping along a predefined path. And incredibly, the paths these dots follow precisely map the layout of the blood vessels in your eyes. The speed at which they move, that's directly synced up with your heartbeat. So next time you find a nice clear blue sky, take a moment, relax your eyes and try to observe it. You're essentially watching your own pulse displayed as a light show using a built-in microscope that lets you witness your immune system diligently at work. It's completely normal, utterly harmless, and a rather amazing little quirk of human perception. Continuing our exploration of hidden visual capabilities, let's consider something truly extraordinary. the potential for secret UV vision. Deep within each of your eyes lies a remarkable structure called the crystalline lens. Among its primary functions, it acts like a pair of sophisticated, built-in sunglasses, diligently filtering out harmful ultraviolet UV light to protect the delicate retina at the back of your eye. However, as people age, this lens can sometimes become cloudy due to cataracts, significantly impairing vision. In such cases, ophthalmologists may need to surgically remove the natural lens. Historically, and sometimes even today, if a replacement lens isn't implanted, this procedure can lead to an astonishing side effect: the sudden, unexpected ability to perceive ultraviolet light, a part of the spectrum normally invisible to humans. People who have experienced this condition, known as aphakia, the absence of the lens, often describe the world in dramatically different terms. Some report seeing everything tinged with a distinct blue-violet glow, as if a new layer of color has been unveiled. Others, more strikingly, gain the ability to see hidden patterns on flowers that are typically only visible to insects like bees, which rely on these UV markings as nectar guides. These patterns can appear as glowing landing strips or intricate designs that were utterly invisible before the surgery. A famous historical example often cited is the Impressionist painter Claude Monet. After undergoing cataract surgery on one eye, which in his era often meant simply removing the lens without replacement, art historians have noted a distinct shift in his paintings. His later works began to feature significantly more blues and violets, leading experts to believe he was literally painting colors that individuals with normal UV filtering lenses couldn't perceive. Of course, this superpower isn't without its downsides. The world can appear hazy and strangely tinted, and crucially, without that natural lens offering protection, the eyes become far more vulnerable to UV damage. This is why modern cataract surgeries almost invariably involve replacing the old clouded lens with an artificial intraocular lens that includes a UV filter, making this accidental superpower increasingly rare. Beyond the realm of sight, prepare for a revelation that might make you feel like you have an unconscious, hidden sense. Our brains possess built-in magnetic sensors, a kind of internal compass. Scientists have uncovered compelling evidence for this by constructing highly specialized experimental rooms, meticulously designed to block out all ambient electromagnetic interference, allowing them to create and control specific magnetic fields within. Human test subjects were then placed inside this isolated chamber, wearing sophisticated caps equipped with electroencephalography (EEG) sensors to measure their brain activity. Then, without informing the participants of what was happening or when, the scientists began to subtly manipulate the magnetic fields around them. The results were nothing short of mind-blowing. The EEG readings clearly showed that every time the researchers altered the direction or intensity of the magnetic field, there was a corresponding statistically significant change in the participants' brainwave patterns, particularly in the alpha wave band. It was as if a tiny unconscious radar deep within their brains was picking up these invisible forces. And here's the truly strange part. None of the people involved in the study consciously felt anything at all. Their conscious minds remained completely oblivious to the magnetic shifts their brains were clearly registering. Further research into this phenomenon has led scientists to discover tiny crystals of a naturally magnetic mineral called magnetite scattered throughout human brain tissue. These microscopic crystals are thought to act like incredibly small compass needles, potentially aligning themselves with external magnetic fields. Intriguingly, these are the same kind of iron-based crystals that are believed to help birds, sea turtles, and other migratory animals navigate vast distances with uncanny accuracy. So it appears that for your entire life, your brain has been secretly equipped with these magnetic sensors, quietly monitoring Earth's magnetic field this whole time. The signal just never makes it to your conscious awareness, like having an incredible superpower that's permanently stuck in airplane mode. It's data processed but never displayed. Now let's consider a superpower designed for survival: the emergency pain shield. Imagine you're in a truly terrifying situation, perhaps running for your life from a charging bear in the wilderness. In your desperate flight, you trip, slamming hard into a tree, but the adrenaline is pumping so fiercely that you scramble back to your feet and keep sprinting as if nothing happened. Only much later, once the danger has passed and you're safe, do you begin to feel an agonizing pain and discover you've actually broken 2 ribs. How is this possible? Your brain possesses an incredible life-saving superpower. It can literally turn off or significantly dampen the sensation of pain when it believes you're in serious, immediate trouble. This isn't just a matter of mind over matter in the colloquial sense. It's a profound physiological response. Scientists have discovered that your brain operates its very own internal pharmacy, capable of producing natural painkillers known as endorphins, which are chemically similar to opiates like morphine and can be even more potent than anything you could buy at a store. When you find yourself in a situation of extreme danger or sustain a severe injury, your brain can flood your system with these powerful chemicals. This remarkable ability, often called stress-induced analgesia, is no mere fluke. It's a primal defense mechanism deeply embedded in our evolutionary heritage. Our ancient ancestors absolutely needed this power when hunting dangerous animals or attempting to escape formidable predators. Stopping to cry about a sprained ankle or a deep gash while a saber-toothed tiger was hot on your heels would not have been a particularly effective survival strategy. Your brain actually has multiple pathways and mechanisms to block pain signals, like having several different emergency off switches for agony. However, just like hysterical strength, there's a catch. You can't consciously control this power. It only activates when your brain's threat assessment system flags the situation as genuinely perilous. And crucially, once the danger has subsided and the endorphin rush wears off, all that blocked pain comes flooding back, often feeling significantly worse than it might have initially. Think of it as taking out an emergency loan from your future self. You get the immediate benefit, but you'll eventually have to pay it back, often with substantial interest in the form of heightened pain perception later on. Moving on to one of the most mind-bending aspects of our biology, scientists have made a groundbreaking discovery that our brains are essentially information addicts, constantly seeking and processing patterns. What's truly remarkable is that your brain doesn't seem to care too much how it gets this information, as long as it arrives in a structured, patterned way that it can learn to interpret. This incredible ability hinges on a core neurological principle known as brain plasticity, which is your brain's extraordinary talent for reorganizing and rewiring itself in response to new experiences, learning, or even injury. This adaptability allows for some truly astounding technological innovations that leverage alternative sensory pathways, essentially allowing us to feel the invisible. For instance, researchers have developed a device that enables blind individuals to see using their tongues. It sounds like pure science fiction, but it's a functional reality. The system typically involves a small camera mounted on a pair of glasses, which captures visual information from the environment. This information is then translated into patterns of gentle electrical impulses delivered to a small flat array of electrodes that the user places on their tongue. Imagine a high-tech lollipop. Initially, these sensations might just feel like random fizzy tingles. However, with training and consistent use, the brain begins to learn the correlation between these tactile patterns and the visual world. Astonishingly, after a while, users report that their brain starts to interpret these tingles not just as feelings on the tongue, but as actual visual information, allowing them to navigate complex rooms, recognize everyday objects, and even read large letters. Similarly, scientists have created a special vest that allows deaf individuals to hear through their skin. This vest is embedded with tiny vibrating motors that translate ambient sounds into complex patterns of buzzes across the user's back or torso. After a few weeks of wearing it and learning to associate these vibrational patterns with specific sounds, the brain starts to treat these tactile sensations as if they were auditory input. Users can literally begin to understand spoken words just by feeling the corresponding vibrations on their skin. These breakthroughs highlight that our brains are far more flexible than we often give them credit for. Scientists are now actively working on ways to potentially give us completely new senses. Imagine being able to feel Which way is magnetic north, like a human compass, or perhaps even sensing Wi-Fi signals or other invisible electromagnetic fields around you? Your brain, it turns out, is already equipped for these kinds of upgrades. It's like having an incredibly powerful supercomputer that's just waiting for new sensory programs to run. Finally, let's explore the astonishing navigational system humming away inside you, your brain's built-in GPS. Tucked away deep within the complex architecture of your skull, operating silently and ceaselessly, is a tiny biological global positioning system that would make even the most sophisticated smartphone app like Google Maps blush with envy. This internal navigation system is running 24/7, meticulously mapping your surroundings and your place within them, all without you ever having to consciously think about it. It's a masterpiece of neural engineering. Your brain houses specialized neurons known as place cells, primarily found in a region called the hippocampus. These remarkable cells fire up like tiny, specific light bulbs, becoming active whenever you enter a particular familiar location. Walk into your kitchen, and one distinct set of place cells lights up. Step into your bedroom, and a completely different set begins to fire. It's as if your brain is meticulously dropping invisible digital pins on an internal map, tagging every significant place you go. But the sophistication doesn't end there. Your brain's navigation toolkit also includes head direction cells. These incredible little neurons act like an internal compass that never needs calibrating. No matter how twisted, turned, or disoriented you might momentarily feel, these cells maintain an accurate sense of which way your head is facing relative to your environment. And as if that weren't enough, your brain even threw in speed cells, which constantly and unconsciously calculate how fast you're moving through space, whether you're strolling leisurely or sprinting. So right now, as you're reading this, without any conscious effort on your part, your brain knows precisely where you are, which direction you're oriented towards, and how quickly or not you're moving. It's like having a dedicated, tiny supercomputer solely committed to ensuring you don't accidentally walk into walls or get hopelessly lost in your own home. This intricate system is so fundamentally important for survival that variations of it are found in practically every animal, from insects to mammals. Back in the evolutionary day, it was this very system that kept our ancestors from getting irretrievably lost while foraging or hunting, and crucially, from becoming dinner for predators. It's a touch ironic then that despite this incredible innate navigational prowess, many of us still manage to get spectacularly lost trying to find our car in a crowded parking lot. Perhaps it's because we've become a bit lazy, outsourcing much of this intricate mental work to the GPS on our phones. So next time you're heading somewhere familiar, try a little experiment. Turn off your phone's GPS and consciously try to let your internal navigator take the wheel. You might just awaken that sleeping superpower and discover you're actually a far more capable human compass than you ever realized.